Good evening, everyone. The Light Christian Spiritualist Church, Weymouth. Although we're not physically in our lovely physical church, we're all joined together as a virtual congregation online. So thank you everybody who tunes in every week. Thank you for people who are new to us and have just found us. And also thank you to everybody who's watching this on the restream or the live stream. You are very, very welcome this evening, and thank you for joining us. So it's my great pleasure to introduce Craig Morris to you. Hello, Craig.
Hello, how you doing? Forgive me, I'm just sharing out the link so everybody can get hold of us. Yeah, I'm very well. Yourself? It's nice to be with you. This is just a bit bonkers, really. We're about to do a divine service online, first time for everything, but I love it. It's great.
Fantastic. We're embracing the new technology. We're rolling with the punches, and whatever challenges that the spirit world are bringing to us, then we're embracing them. So thank you, Craig. Thank you, everybody who's joining us online. I can see there's loads of people already. Thank you. Just going to check in. Lorraine, super fan Lorraine. Cheryl, with all your beautiful children. Fantastic. Paula and Debbie from Circle. Dawn and Steve, hello, with your lovely doggy. Paula, Vicky Hanlon, Debbie, oh, Jamie, you are the most dedicated person on any live feed. Lovely Dolly. Hello, Dolly, hope you're well. Sylvia, Nikki and Phil, Lawrence Saville, from Paul. Hello, Lawrence, lovely to see you. And Rebecca.
Rebecca,
and more people joining us. That's wonderful. Thank you. Fantastic. Welcome everyone for joining us. So what we are going to do is we're going to start in what has now become a bit of a thing. We're going to light our candles. And the reason why we do this is because it's a real symbol to us of that light going out to all of our homes, having that burning candle that you can focus your thoughts on that during healing. And it kind of brings us all together. So if you've got your candle handy, ladies and gentlemen, at home, and we're just going to open the service and just take some time just to light our candles. And as we just allow that light just to burn and link us all together, just creating that energetic moment between all of us. Okay, thank you, everybody. Welcome to everybody that's joined. Hello to Carol Lamb, your first ever online divine service. Thank you very much for coming and being with us. I hope that you love it as much as we love it. Okay, we're going to hand over the service now in the capable hands of Craig, who's going to open our service in our prayer. And then after that, we will go into the Lord's Prayer, should you choose to. Okay, thank you, Craig.
Thank you. Friends, this is just the time where we can not only just draw together as one, as an energy, but let's invite your loved ones from the spirit world and join together. And please join in prayer. Divine and gracious Mother, Father, God, once more, may we all take this opportunity of thanks, thanking you for allowing us to gather here in this wonderful energy of the Spirit and our inspirers from the spirit world. May we ask that each and every one of us, as we gather here, that we feel the presence, we feel the joy, we feel the upliftment, that positivity in these unknowing times and doubting times of our lives. But even in those challenging days that we've had behind us and that we may still have ahead of us, the knowing that we have not just our loved ones in the spirit world, but our friends and our family and our loved ones in this world. However we may communicate, may we send up those thoughts of thanks, of gratitude, but also sending up those thoughts of healing wherever they may need to be sent the most. And we now leave this wonderful service of healing, joy, and more importantly, of love. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Craig. And now we're going to join together, should you choose to, in the Lord's Prayer. So as we come together to say, friends, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And leave us not when in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, everybody, for joining together in that. And thank you, Craig, for that beautiful prayer. Really heartfelt thank you. We're now going to dedicate some time to healing and sending healing out. And I don't know whether, while you're watching at home, you felt the real energy shift this week, that you have been reaching out to people, you've been aware of people reaching out and needing some assistance. So what we're going to do is we're going to join together, and I'm going to say a short prayer of healing, and then we're going to listen to some music for a short period of time for you to send your thoughts out to those people that you know may need some upliftment, and also to yourself. So if you'd like to just allow your eyes to close, if you choose to do that. And as we bring ourselves into that quiet space, that healing space, then we will send the thoughts out for healing. And we say, Great Spirit, as our guide, the joy of our hearts, the authors of our hope, and the object of our love, we come to you now at this time, seeking upliftment and peace in our hearts. Show us and those people we know mercy. Relieve our fears and anxieties. Grant us a quiet mind and an expectant heart, that by the assurance of your presence with us every day, that we can learn to abide in peace and love. May we keep hope always in our hearts. Amen. And as we just allow those words to linger with us, we're going to listen to some music so we can send thoughts out to people that we know and love that may need upliftment at this time. Thank you, everybody. Amen. Thank you for sending that healing energy out. So now the Superman mug is right, Craig.
It is. I'm going, as I said earlier, I'm going for the Clark Kent look because of the barnet that I've got. So it feels fitting. So yes,
it's very suave. On that note, Clark Kent, over to you, Craig, for your reading.
Thank you very much. So, I think during these times, it's important that obviously we share words, not just of encouragement in a general sense when we do these services. And one thing I've learned of doing these services, of course, that when you share those philosophical words and those inspiring words, from the spirit world and obviously from the reading, it's important that, of course, everybody takes something away from them. So. I read this, and as soon as I came across it, it was like, yes. So it's called A Lighthouse in the Distance, and the author is Lisa S. Satcher. I'm a lighthouse in the distance, a light for all to see. I'll point you in the right direction and plan your destiny. I'm a very bright beacon of hope, shining on the water in the night, echoing softly. Come to me because I am the light. I'm calling to everyone on the water, especially the ships at sea, calling to bring you light and hope throughout all of eternity. Come toward the light, and I'll steer you to the harbour safely onto the land. When the winds and the waves are crashing down, I hear your plea, and boldly I always stand. When you only see storms and darkness furiously raging all around, remember your lighthouse in the distance, and you surely will not drown. I have a purpose on the water, and it's for all of the world to see. My light forever burning throughout precious eternity.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Gosh, that's beautiful. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Oh, you can feel the vibration change on that. Wonderful words. Thank you so much, Craig. And now I'd like to hand over for address your thoughts on your reading.
No problem, excuse me. And of course, again, just following on from the words, not just of the reading there, but the reading, the words of what I said beforehand. And, during this time that we're going through right now, I've spoken to so many people that are finding it very difficult because they're having to spend so much time on their own. And, I hear lots of people saying to you, but, people of the war had to do this. And, people of the war never had the television. They never had everything that you had to do. You never had the computers and all of this. And, when you've got somebody that is on their own, it doesn't matter what you've got. You could be in £1 million mansion and it wouldn't matter. And that's where the phrase money can never make you happy. So the fact that we have people that are on their own and that we have all this technology that we're boasting about, we're doing this online services and readings and demonstrations is fantastic. But we also need to remember that we need to reach out to the right people, because some of these people don't see that lighthouse. They don't see that light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that's what is so important in this day and age, or currently what we're going through right now. We're sort of 5 or 6 weeks now into this lockdown, and the fact that we're having to stay home and, as we were saying earlier on, climbing the walls. But what's so important is that, friends, that we do realise there is that light at the end of the tunnel. Not just the fact that they're on about starting to lift that lockdown, but the fact that we can reach out to one another, the fact that we do have those ways of communication. You don't have to be in the same room with people to have that chat, whatever it might be, a drink, a board game, a quiz, whatever it might be. And I think what is so important is that everybody realizes that, and don't be afraid to reach out either. We call ourselves spiritual people. And, can we honestly say and put our hands up, that you've gone out there and you've checked on your friends, if you've got somebody that's down the road that might be, that isn't able to get out, not able to go and get their food and their shopping and everything like that, So can you honestly put your hand up and say, do you know what? Yeah, I can go and do that, because that's what this time is all about. Look at it from this perspective. Are we all being challenged? Are we all being sent the biggest lesson of life? People talk about greed and power, and they think that's the best thing they can have in life. But really, let's face it, you can have as much power you want in the world, but is that going to make any difference to what is going on right now? No, it's not. The fact that you have that love inside, that intention to help one another, is probably by far the best thing that you'll ever have. And let's just remember that we talk about that light at the end of the tunnel, because I think this is one thing that a lot of people seem to be sort of going away from. Use this time to embrace who you are. Use this time to make yourself develop, enhance you as a person, you as a spirit. Because, we're stuck indoors, and yes, there's days where we just want to sit there and do nothing, keep the doors closed, bolt the curtains and all of this, and just be on our own and feel sorry for ourselves. But there are days where we feel that power and we feel that energy of our loved ones. Just remember, friends, that you do have not just people to reach out to on this platform, but to them in the spirit world as well. How many of you are taking this time now to actually stay at home and sit in the company of the power of the spirit world? We talk about making time for ourselves. Now is the perfect opportunity. Are you doing that? We talk about eternal progress open to every human soul, and all of that. as we talk about different options there for us. I was thinking the wrong word then, but there we go. And this is that time now, friends. This is that time where you can begin to make a difference. Sit at home. You know, everybody's got a piece of paper and a pen. Write down what it is that you want to achieve when we come out of this lockdown. I tell you what, one of the first places I'm going to be going to is the pub with my mum and my dad, my brother, my, you know, all my other friends as well, because that's what I want to do. Everybody else has probably got different ideas, of course, but what is important is that you embrace, and I say this at the end of every demonstration, embrace who you've got, what you've got, whilst you've got it, because you simply don't know what's around the corner. 2 occasions today, and I kid you not, within the space of 25-30 minutes, I read online from 2 friends on my Facebook page. The first one was asking for healing prayers to a mother who just lost her 11-year-old boy who died of heart failure last night. There was nothing that I could do. His life was gone. And yet there was another one, literally, that I read, like I say, within a very, very short space of time, that also died and was only 15 years old. There was nothing that they could do. Absolutely nothing they could do. And the worst thing about this, friends, is that the family and the friends surrounding this family couldn't go out to hug them. They couldn't go out to embrace and to help them. And yet, before all this happened, little things like that we took for granted. We take for granted those loved ones that we have. You pick up your phone, you get a phone call, you think, oh, it's mum again. I'll talk to her in a bit. I tell you what, my mum does my head in, but she's allowed to because she's my mum. And that was the contract that she signed. So she's allowed to do my head in. But I tell you what, every time that phone rings and I get that message from my mum, boom, it makes my day. I'm well happy, especially throughout these times. So the one thing I will also say to you, friends, is remember those people that have been with you throughout this phase, throughout this challenging time. But also remember that it could be people that you least expect that could be that lighthouse just out in the harbour there to bring you back in. Be there for one another is the important message. Being there not just for other people, but to set that example for other people to see as well. Because there might be other times in the future that your children, your grandchildren, and so on, that will see something similar. And they will go by your example. And that is what's also important. Acknowledge now that it's important to embrace every person you've got in your life. Embrace the opportunities you have. If you think to yourself, oh, I probably shouldn't eat that chocolate, I'm going to put £1 on. Who cares? You're not carrying the coffin, so it doesn't matter, does it? Enjoy it, embrace it, drink the gin and drink the beer and everything. Enjoy life. That's what it's about, folks. I'm not saying to go out and become an alcoholic or just pig out on chocolate, but what I'm saying is enjoy life. How many times before all this started that we stressed about how much money we got in the bank or how much we hadn't got in the bank? You know, my nan, my mom's mum, always used to say, do you know what? As long as you've got a sack of spuds, you've got a meal. And I think once all this is over, it'll be little things like that that I will remember, because I said, as long as we've got those sack of spuds, which we have, by the way, then I know we're going to be okay. I don't care how much money I've got in the bank. As long as I've got a roof over my head, clothes on my back and food on the table, I'm going to do all right. And I'm sure everybody out there will do too. But let's just take this time now, friends, to not just embrace the predicament that we're in, but also to embrace the opportunities that we're going to be given after the lockdown has been lifted, and what opportunities we can help, not just to embrace ourselves, but to our fellow man as well. Support one another, love one another, because this isn't a practice run. This is what we call life. This is the biggest event that any of us will ever be given. And it'll be the best event that any of us will attend. So make it a good one, make it a happy one, and embrace who you've got, what you've got, whilst you've got it, because you simply do not know what's around the corner. And friends, with all that positive energy, that joy, and more importantly, that love, you will see that light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Craig. Thank you for that. I love a good rousing inkwell basher on the desk. That was just the kind of
that energy. It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Fantastic. Thank you. It's really interesting, isn't it, what you said about the phone call from your mum, and actually as a working medium, you know that when our loved ones have passed to the spirit world, that actually we treasure each contact that we have like that. To say your
Absolutely.
mum's here and she wants to say hello, and actually you're right, we do take things for granted, don't we? We do absolutely take
I
that for
just
granted.
think that when even doing what we do as mediums, you know, and of course, you know, Ashley, you communicate with the spirit world as well yourself. You know, you're you're a very good medium. So, and you know, it doesn't make any difference the fact that we're able to communicate with the spirit world. And I often say to people, do you know what? You know, the amount of people that have come to see me and friends of mine that have asked for help or guidance to, you know, to go and see other mediums, I've actually sat with them, and the advice that I've given to them is, and this is why I share this now, is if you try if you tried so hard to communicate with your mom, your dad, your nan and granddad whilst they were here, like you are now after they've gone, you'd have so many more memories that you'd carry with you, and that you wouldn't feel, maybe some people feel that guilt. So that's why I say to people, embrace it now whilst you can, because when that time does come, because we're all going to go at some point to the next world, you know, when that time does come, you're going to miss that phone call, you're going to miss that hug and that nagging down. You think, oh, here we go again, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't be drinking so much, you shouldn't have gone there, and shouldn't have spent that much money. I know, but you know what, when that time comes that's gone, I'm going to be wishing for that to happen. And this is why I say to people, after this has happened, and once Mr. Johnson has ungrounded us and he lets us out to play again, I've said the first thing I'm going to do is get in that car and I'm driving straight to the Midlands to see my family. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So, and that's why I say that. But yeah, so I could go on for ages, sorry.
No, I think we've kind of reached that tipping point, haven't we? In the energy, we've reached that tipping point where actually we're starting to want to come out the other end. We're starting to want to make plans. It's only natural. It's only natural, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's interesting what you were saying about kind of taking more time to sit more as well, and you know, writing down. That was a really lovely idea that you said about writing down what you want from your relationship with your spirit team, because it's a partnership, isn't it? Writing it down and kind of making almost a bit of a pledge. That's a fantastic idea. Thank you.
I think a lot of people, you know, Billy Cook and myself did a live feed yesterday, and we got asked, you know, so many fantastic questions, and some of them were about, you know, that connection we've got with our guides and our, you know, the spirit team, as you quite rightly put there. And so many people don't realise that, you know, you've got a wonderful opportunity right now to light that candle, put a bit of music on in the background, or just to sit in the quiet, invite them in and allow them to inspire you through this. Because I tell you what, I've not sat every day, but I've sat a lot more whilst I've been at home, and I tell you what, I've got to say, that is what kept me sane.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and using your time for something that just feels like such a blessing, making it a gift. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lovely. Thank you. People are loving your energy and your enthusiasm. Yeah. Oh, Lorraine says hello. She likes the fact you've got a Brummie accent like her. Fantastic. Alison Price is also, as soon as it's lifted, she's going to be wheel spinning it up to the Midlands to go and see her mum. Lots of people connecting with the vibration that you're bringing through, of that appreciation for those people who are our lighthouses. They are our lighthouses. Yeah, and lots of people loving your reading as well. So yeah, do make sure that you let me know what that is, and I can put that underneath so people can go and find it. That's lovely. Thank you, everybody. So many people in. Elise, Debbie, Fiona. Oh, Billy's on. Hello, Billy. So you're doing a lovely job.
You probably heard his name being mentioned.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And I've got to say, just whilst Billy's in there as well, you know, it's you know, where I talked in the philosophy there about being there for one another. This was something that Billy and myself have talked about, and you know, I mean, I've gone out and or me and Wayne have gone out and done Billy shopping and Roy shopping as well. But I've also got to say as well that even before all this happened, I always tell people, just listen to the not just to your inner voice, but listen to those people around you. And Billy's been one of those people for me since I've moved down here. He's certainly been an inspiration. I know not just for me, but for other people as well. So that's why I say to people, you know, make the most of it now. So make the most of it.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you for everyone that's coming online. There's loads of people online to you now. Oh, Phil Anderson's got a question. He's very cheeky, is our Phil. He said, "Did Billy get his roast pork?"
He didn't, Phil. No, he didn't. We didn't do a pork today. Although when I called Billy earlier on, I was doing our lunch, and he said, "I'm sure he's got like a smell-o-vision or whatever it might be." He said, "What you cooking?" And I was doing us like a steak dinner. And he went, "Oh, okay." So I mean, all afternoon you can drop it round for me. And of course, I said, "Well, I've only got two." So he went, "Oh, I'll just make do with a sandwich then." So of course, look, there we go. He's commented. No, he's answering your question there, Phil. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. But when I've got pork in, I will do it. I will do my roast pork. So he lets everybody know.
He's very complimentary of your cooking, though, Craig. So yeah, that's fab. Oh, well done. Well, we'll all wait for the next instalment of what Billy's got. It's like Ready, Steady, Cook. Love that. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, everyone that's come on. Hello to Andy Ford. Lovely Andy. And hello to Mark.
Yes, hello, Andy.
Hi, Andy. And Margaret Pearson, who's new. Hello, welcome, Margaret. Welcome to our page and our channel. Fantastic, thank you. If anyone, I'm kind of going to throw it open a little bit. If anyone's wants to come back on anything Craig said, or got any comments or things they want to raise about it, this is your golden opportunity, really. We're embracing the new. We're embracing the new.
There's my mother.
Is that your mum?
It is Jeanette. Yeah, that's my mum. And you know what? I speak to my mom every day, you know, sort of 2 or 3 times a day. And the one thing I have taken up, and Wayne, to be fair, Wayne's done it more than what I have, but one thing I've taken up during this lockdown is baking. So I've done scones. I've done, what else have I done? I've done cheesecake. There we go. And I've got to say, it was down to my mom, really. Literally, I called her up. She goes, "Right, are you ready to bake now?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Right, and she gave me literally from start to finish. She was on the phone with me, literally right from the start, right to the finish. So I've got to say, that was down to mom that I was able to do that. So
wow. Thank you, Jeanette. And please put the recipe online.
And now since we've been doing more and more and more, she was like, "Marvelous." Now when I come down, because they're also threatening to come down once the lockdown's gone. They want loads of stuff baking for them. So Wayne's going to be busy in the kitchen when that happens.
Fantastic, lovely. I think there's going to be parties all over. Thank you. Thank you to Christina, all the way from Sweden. Lovely to have you with us. Anita, who's so she's been on her own for 7 weeks. Anita, we are sending our thoughts out to you. We are always here for you every Sunday evening. This is a place where you can come and you can connect with other people, and you can listen to the words of some of our wonderful mediums that come and share the benefit of their many years of insight and working with the spirit. And Betty in Alaska. Hello, Betty. Wish you guys were in Alaska. Well, we're here on Facebook. You don't have to travel. You can watch us in your slippers, Betty. But we're really pleased to have you online with us this evening. Thank you. And Karen from Weymouth.
Wonderful thing as well. Sorry to interrupt you, but this is another wonderful thing where, you know, by being able to do this online, you're not just, you know, where on a normal day or a normal service, you know, you'd be in the one place, you know, you'd be in the church and, you know, doing another wonderful service. But of course, by being here online, you're able to reach out to so many people and to different parts of the world. I just think is phenomenal. So we look at it like this, and let's just face it, straight away, this is a good thing that's come out of it. So, you know, I know people say, oh, people spend too much time on their computers, but at the same time, when you're doing it with for the right reasons, like with the right intentions, like this tonight, and we've got people like Anita that have been on their own for 7 weeks, which is, I don't like seeing things like that because it's such a shame. But the fact that you can reach out to people is just brilliant. So that's probably one of the first good things that have come out of this lockdown, to be honest. So yeah, great.
It is a real blessing. Yeah, thank you. So Craig, I'm really interested, and actually, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Billy will be back on my page, on the other page, on Friday evening from 6 till 7, where it's going to be a real Q&A session, deep dive, open the floor to Craig, who's going to be taking all of your questions. So please have those ready for Friday. But just while we're online, Craig, I was really interested in, had the privilege of watching your live feed where you were offering your time really to answer questions and also doing some readings. And how is the energy different, out of interest, as you're working online? Is it the same energy, or does it feel different as when you're working in a church?
Do you know, it's something that I've had to adapt to, and I know that other mediums have as well. It's something that you've had to adapt to. So it's something that I don't think about, to be honest. But the energy, I mean, naturally it is different because you're at home and you're sat there probably in your shorts and light shirt and tie like this or whatever it might be. But for me, it's I don't know. It's almost like a clearer vision, to be honest, because.
Wow.
And I was saying this to a friend of mine the other day, that when you're doing readings, in fact, actually, it was Rebecca Sawyer. I was talking to another fabulous medium from London there. And I was saying that by doing these readings at home or online, you've actually got nobody else there to sort of interfere with you. So it's just like, well, I've got to trust implicitly with the spirit world. On a normal demonstration, for example, excuse me. On a normal demonstration, you'd have to sort of give off evidence, get a bit of feedback, give off evidence, get a bit of feedback. And of course, sometimes when you're doing that, and when you've got a lot of other people that are in the room, sometimes that can affect the energy, most of the time in a good way. But at home, you've just got to trust, and there's nothing else to it. So I actually enjoy it. I love it. I do. I really, really do. And when I get the feedback from people, yeah, that's correct, and that was correct. Yeah, I needed that, and I needed to hear that today. Thank you so much. That just gives me that little bit of a perk, a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. To be honest, it's just that feeling. It's just a good feeling. So energy-wise, it's just almost like a clearer line, a clearer vision for me.
Wonderful. Isn't it amazing how spirit grasps the opportunity and they just say, right, if you're willing to go out on a limb and you're willing to trust, then let's go for it. Yeah, and they'll give you the rewards. Thank you.
Got to be
Thank you. Lawrence agrees with you. I know that Lawrence is a massive advocate of the online work. And Sylvia has come up with a really interesting question about being more compassionate. And exactly what you were talking about in your address, about just being more compassionate to people and just thinking things through. Do you think it's making us more compassionate?
I'd like to think so, if I'm honest. And again, I mean, I've reached out to people that I wouldn't normally speak to, and people have reached out to me and called me and messaged, etc. And I think by having that opportunity, has been brilliant, to be honest, because when you're at home and you are on lockdown, you've got nothing you're allowed to do. Essentially, you can't go out apart from your hour's walk or whatever. So I'd like to think that it will make people more compassionate, but also make people more aware of actually the opportunities they've got, and not just think, oh, you know what, I know that I was going to go and see mum and dad today, I'll wait till tomorrow. So instead of putting little things like that off. But I also think, I mean, sadly, I have seen the not so good side of a lockdown as well, where people are trying to be positive and proactive to help people with the right intentions. And sadly, it hasn't come, there's been people that haven't necessarily accepted it in that way. And I just think as long as your intention's right, then it's all good. So with regards to compassion, I really, really hope that people have, with having this time at home, they're using it wisely to think, using it wisely to actually think. One thing I will say as well, actually, just before I round that up, is every time I've gone out on a walk now, hearing talk, I mean, most people down here, to be honest, are pretty friendly anyhow.
Yeah.
But one thing I have noticed is that most people, probably about 75% of the people that I walk past in the street now, all say good morning or good afternoon.
Yes.
And it's almost like that interaction with somebody new. It's like, I don't know who they are. I don't really care who you are. You look friendly. You've got a smile on your face. Let me say hello to you as well. So I think that is also, when we talk about the compassion, I think that is also a great learning curve for us. And it's just that feeling of, do you know what? We talk about actually being positive and saying hello to people, when we're walking down the street, and people are now actually doing it, which is great to see. But I just hope it's something that people continue. I really do.
Yeah,
So
it's giving us license, isn't it? So this energy is kind of all of the social norms of not looking at people, just, you know, don't acknowledge other people. All of those social norms have been thrown out the window, and this time is giving us license
yes,
that when we're out on our walk, we have permission. We've been given ourselves permission to talk to people.
yeah.
And everyone's really welcome to it. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that actually, but that's true. Yeah, everyone's very smiley now.
It makes somebody's day, you know. You know, where Anita said there, she's somebody that's been on her own for such a long time, you know. But if it's somebody like Anita who's gone out on a walk, maybe with her dog, for example, you know, if they get a hello from somebody like me or yourself, but we know we've got family and loved ones to come back to, we don't realise it, we don't see it, but they're probably gone home with a smile on their face, with that little bit of joy and upliftment, feeling that little bit better, thinking, do you know what? Yeah, do you know, there is that light at the end of the tunnel. Things will get better.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you. So many lovely comments from people. Dear Betty, she's in lockdown because she's in rehab from hospital. Betty, I hope you kind of sat in that healing meditation that we did earlier, the healing moment, and took that on board and kind of asked permission for healing for yourself. And everyone's sending you so much love. We're such a family in our little Facebook congregation. I say little, our growing Facebook congregation that comes together on a Sunday night. So you will find plenty of wonderful people here to focus and send healing to you.
Yeah.
Anita's, sorry?
I was just saying, healing's been sent to you, Betty.
Yes, yeah. Anita's calling it the awakening. That's something I've heard quite a lot.
Yes.
And Debbie's made a good point. She said before the lockdown, she never used to go on Facebook, and now she's realised there's a whole world and community out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much operation. Yeah.
It's so nice to see so many people coming out. I know that I've just seen Tim Abbott pop up as well. Tim's popped in, so hello to Tim there. Another wonderful medium who I've known for many years up there in the Midlands. There we go. Yeah.
He's saying you're looking very smart. He likes the hair. Fantastic. Thank you everyone that's joined us the first time this evening, and for anyone who has been looking for something on the internet for some positivity and upliftment. There are so many churches now, there are so many spiritualist churches now that are broadcasting their messages of hope and upliftment, and we're very fortunate to have wonderful mediums out doing this work of the light, such as Craig, who are really there in service for the spirit world to be able to bring that connection through to you. So we are coming very closely to the coming towards the end of the service, unfortunately, everybody. We'll be back next Sunday from 6:15 until 7 on our Facebook page, and our medium next week is the lovely Andy Ford. So please do join us to come and see Andy working next Sunday. For anyone that has loved Craig's energy, his enthusiasm, his vibrancy and positivity, then Craig will be on my channel on Friday evening from 6 till 7. I'll put a link underneath for that. And that will be a question and answer session. So during the week, ask your spirit team for some really humdinger questions, and Craig will take those questions from you. So thank you so much for your work this evening and the beautiful reading and your lovely thoughts. And it now remains for you to close our service by offering your closing prayer. If that's okay, Craig, hand over to you.
Thank you very much. Friends, once more, just as we bring that energy together, not just amongst friends here online, but of course our family and our friends there in the spirit world, please join together now, and please join together in prayer. Divine and gracious Spirit, Mother, Father, God. Father, taking this opportunity of thanks once more to share our gratitude, to share our thanks and appreciation, to spend just this little bit of time together, albeit there it be online, but the knowing we have that voice, the knowing we have that awareness to share our thoughts, our inspirational quotes that we are inspired to say there from the spirit world, but also that positivity that we need to share at this time as well. May we ask all the energy we've built up here together this evening is shared out to wherever it is needed most as healing energy, particularly to those people that are spending lots of time on their own, those people that are battling this terrible virus, but also for our key workers there on the front line. We send out an abundance of love and light to them. And we thank you for this wonderful opportunity once more. And until the next time, in your name of love. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much, Craig. Such a wonderful ambassador for spiritualism and this understanding. Thank you so much. It's a real privilege to have you here online with us, made possible by the circumstances we're in. So thank you, everybody who's come and joined us this evening. It really does make our job worthwhile, that so many people take so much comfort and hope and upliftment from these online interactions. So thank you for joining us every week. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much for coming and watching through to the end, and joining with us on our Sunday service. So we will see you next Sunday, everybody, 6:15 on this page, but you will see Craig on Friday from 6 till 7. I'll put the link underneath. See you on Friday. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless. Go well. Look after yourself during the week. Much love to you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.